Hello, everybody.
Okay, are we ready on the hospital arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Barnes, unmute, state your name for the record.
Ramon Barnes, Your Honor.
All right, this is case number 250-583-5201, Peace and Michigan versus Ramon Barnes. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jessica Shai, P number 81798, on behalf of Mr. Barnes, who waits for more reading, understands his constitutional rights, stands mute.
All right, the court will enter not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Barnes. Bond recommendation?
Your Honor, in this matter, the people are recommending a $75,000 cash surety bond, and based on the allegations here, I don't see a criminal history for Mr. Barnes, but I do see is what predatory nature of the contact that he had with Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins is now the current boyfriend of Mr. Barnes's ex-girlfriend, and that this is all captured on green light video at the gas station. The officer describes it in the IR as the defendant gets out of the car with a gun in his hand, racks the gun. He punches the complainant, gets into a fighting stance. The complainant, who is a valid CPL holder, shoots the defendant in the leg. The defendant then fires his gun at the complainant. There were casings found at the scene, 440s and 2 9mm. People believe, based on the confrontational nature, even though he doesn't have a criminal history, that he is a danger because he hunted him down based on no reason. And this is all, the evidence is great. Not only do we have the witness of Mr. Collins and the girlfriend, but we also have it captured on green light video. Thank you.
Response?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 34 years old, and as we just heard, in his 34 years, he has no criminal history whatsoever. You just don't wake up at 34 years old and decide to be an assaultive person or go shoot somebody, which he didn't shoot anybody. He's in the hospital because he had to get surgery for gunshot wounds from the complaining witness, because the complaining witness, Robert Kahns, is who shot him. And, you know, in the report, there's conflicting things. In the report, it indicates that on green light video, that my client moves the gun from one hand and doesn't shoot him, doesn't threaten him, allegedly punches him. My client indicates he didn't touch anybody. Yet when they talk to the complaining witness doesn't talk about that. He doesn't say I got punched. He doesn't say I got punched or nothing. Probably because if you get punched, you don't shoot somebody back. If you don't shoot somebody who is punching you. You don't bring a gun to a punching or fist fight, Your Honor. So there's conflicting things, paragraphs right after another, because he doesn't say he got punched. He says he pulls out the gun, here's Iraq, so he shoots him, and then he leaves. And this woman that's in the car with him, that is the witness, who is the ex-girlfriend, has hired multiple people to threaten not only my client, but his mother and his wife, and there is documentation of this. My client has made several police reports against this because this woman has been hiring people to threaten my client, to say these words specifically, "We going to get you," texting that from Google numbers and private numbers and calling and saying that when he picks up. So the predatorial person here is probably the woman in the car who makes this guy shoot her ex-boyfriend. Who's in the hospital? My client. Who's injured? My client. Who fired a shot? The complaining witness, Your Honor. So my client has no history whatsoever, not on probation or parole, nothing pending, just lost his second job because of this. That's how he supports his 8-year-old daughter. He lives with his wife and daughter, a lifelong resident, no capious history. So I think here the person who should be in front of you is the actual person who shot at my client, and not my client who has been getting threats and has people getting hired against him to threaten him and his family. That's very scary, Your Honor. And he's made police reports. That's what he's done. He's gone to the police. He did the right thing. He documented all this, and he's told them multiple times that him and his family are being threatened. So there are two sides to every story. We weren't there. If my client had some criminal history, maybe this would be a different way. If he hadn't reported what there was happening, it's different. But I'm asking for a personal bond. And if the Court is not inclined to give him a personal bond without a tether. I don't even want to ask for that. He got shot in the leg. He needs physical therapy to start walking again. He's not able to walk there. That was confirmed by him there, the officer there in the hospital. So I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a high personal and no contact, and he's going to be getting a PPO against the witness here because he's gone to the police and the threats have become real and he actually got shot at, Your Honor.
You said he lost his job?
He has lost his second job now because he's been in the hospital for 2 days getting surgery after being shot.
So he has no job now, is that correct?
Correct.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lost your second job, but you have 2 jobs?
Yes, I still have one job.
Okay, so the job that you still have, what are your work days and work hours?
It's caregiving, so it's 30, it was like 40 hours a month for different clients.
Okay. All right. Court haven't heard the argument as to bond. The facts of this case are very, very peculiar to this court. The investigator's report alleges that Mr. Barnes cut off Mr. Collins, got out of his vehicle, and then with a gun, does not shoot the gun, but an argument could be made that he carried it and approached it in a threatening manner, and then physically assaults Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins thereby shoots Mr. Barnes because I believe one can feel reasonably threatened if you're cut off, your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend approaches the vehicle in a threatening manner with a weapon and an aggressive, and then allegedly has some assaultive behavior toward the complaining witness. So an argument can be made, I'm pretty sure it is, that Mr. Collins acted in self-defense. So notwithstanding the fact that Mr. Barnes does not have a criminal history, on a certain level, he was the aggressor in this situation by allegedly cut him off and approaching the vehicle with a weapon, which can be threatening, can be perceived as threatening by any means or measure, by any reasonable man or woman would perceive that as a threatening situation. Does not appear that Mr. Barnes is a CPL holder, but the complaining witness was. And so the court, considering all the totality of the circumstances, I believe emotions are running high because I'm just guessing that he saw his ex-girlfriend with her current boyfriend and somehow he got triggered. Notwithstanding what Ms. Shive represents in terms of the threats or whatever, this is a toxic situation. And I'm afraid of it escalating even further. And this occurred just 2 days ago. Yeah, he may not have a record, but he does carry a gun, at least in this incident, when he's not illegally allowed to. I'm not sure whether they were stalking or he just happened to see the complaining witness, but nonetheless, there's a lot of intent that can be inferred here, given the cut him off, approaching the complaining witness with a handgun. I agree with Mrs. Coyle. I do find that he's a danger to the complaining witness, notwithstanding the fact that he got shot. And so I'm going to give him a $75,000 cash surety bond. No contact with Robert Collins. He was able to post bond GPS tether, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Although I wasn't there, an argument could be made that Mr. Barnes was stalking the person, but that'll all come out later on in later court dates. But an argument could be made to that effect. I assume this is an unaffordable bond.
It is, and I just want the record to reflect that the people out there threatening and shooting people are out free while my client is in a hospital with a $75,000 cash bond. People who actually have police reports against them and people who actually fired a weapon. Just so the record can reflect who's out there on the streets still being a danger and who's locked up in a hospital on a $75,000 cash.
Well, that may very well be true, Ms. Scheib, but the person that allegedly shot your client is a CPL holder. Your client isn't.
But if my
And
client
the
was a
argument,
CPL holder, it doesn't change because we have CPL holders, and if they allegedly shoot somebody, we've made those arguments. And the fact is, it doesn't matter. Just because you're a CPL holder doesn't mean you can shoot people and be out and free.
okay, that may very well be true. And I don't want to go back and forth with this with you, but I'm saying the complaining witness is a CPL holder, and the facts and investigators report that your client was the aggressor. So those are the reasons why. If he was in fear of being threatened, one would think he would go the opposite direction and go far away from the complaining witness. But he doesn't appear to be that fearful of this situation. So those are the reasons I find that he's a danger to the complaining witness. Bond redetermination will be Monday, June 30th, 9 a.m. from the Chief Judge Mechanical. Probable cause July 7th, preliminary examination July 14th. Both in front of Judge Giles. While this case is pending, sir, you're not to possess any handguns, firearms, or other dangerous weapons. No contact with Robert Collins. Mr. Barnes, do you have any questions regarding the bond conditions and no court dates?
There's no personal. It's not 10%.
No personal bond for you, sir, today. Upon your bond determination. No 10% today. Your attorneys will re-argue for your bond, 10% and or personal bond on Monday, June 30th, okay?
Am I allowed to say anything?
Do you have any questions regarding the bond and or court dates, Mr. Barnes?
No.
Is that a no?
Yes, that's a no.
Okay, so you don't have anything to say or no questions. So have a good day, sir.
I was going to ask if I could say something, Your Honor.
Ms. Scheib.
Well, sir, you have a right to speak. Just be mindful, prosecutor's on, and it's all part of the record.
Okay. Okay.
You still want to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, have a good day.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.